You have famously said you are a little Darpok and Jugaadu.
मैं डरपोक था और हूँ. Darpok leads to being risk averse. What that does do is it reduces the chance of failure. Naukri came from a customer insight. पहले साल में 2.5 लाख रुपए सेल हुई, लेकिन अगले साल this 2.5 lakh jumped to 18 lakhs. That's when we realized we stumbled upon something big.
Out of the so many that you evaluated and invested, there would have been some that got you really excited but didn't make it.
There was a company called
AI is a big threat. Would it be a disruptor which can derail what we have seen as a boom in the last 30-40 years? How have you personally been investing in public markets or the private market? Are the principles the same?
roughly yes, invest behind quality, growth, good teams and good founders, innovation and technology.
What to do and what not to do. One learning over the course of time. What age is a ripe age to be an entrepreneur? Any idea that is exciting you now? What is your view on real estate? What is the differentiator for India?
We are naturally have a strength in.
Hello and welcome to the second season of Frankly Speaking with Viral. I have the privilege of having a guest who needs no introduction, a Padma Shri awardee. He's perhaps referred to as the father of the startup ecosystem in India, educationist. I think one can say he knows and understands trends perhaps much earlier than the rest. Let me bring in Mr. Sanjeev Bikhchandani. Sir, welcome to the episode.
Thank you for calling me here.
Thank you. I have followed you over a very, very long time, sir. And I must say...
Sanjeev, not sir.
Thank you. Sanjeev, I have followed you over a very, very long time. And of course, 130 investments into various startups. But I wanted to ask you, you have famously said that you are a little Darpok and Jugaadu. The Jugaadu part, keeping aside, if you started to get into business in 1990, when India was not liberalized, we were having these change in government, I think India didn't have too much of hope that time. And you were what, under 30 at that time?
I was 27.
Yeah. How did you think of getting into business? And, you come from a, middle class background at that time. I know your father was into government service, doctor, mother was a homemaker. तो वो तो अब डरपोक और इसका कोई there's no correlation.
नहीं, मैं डरपोक था और हूँ. I think Darpok leads to being risk averse. Now, risk averse does not mean that you can't be an entrepreneur. Risk averse means that you will measure the risk, you'll understand the risk, you will dissect it, you will manage it, you'll reduce it, and then do it. What that does do is it reduces the chance of failure. When you have less money, you can do a little bit more with that money if you are managing your risk well. And hopefully over time you will succeed. You will not be a rocket ship, but you will succeed.
So you're saying basically you prepare to mitigate risk, but leadership demands taking risk or being successful.
Demands chasing your goals, using the least risky paths to achieve them.
Right.
Okay? So give
you an example. Yeah.
उदाहरण देता हूँ. So I had almost no money when we started.
Right.
2,000 rupees. Right.
And I know that story that you lost 66,000 rupees in a stock.
in a fund. No, but I had 2,000 rupees when I began this company, began this business. And what I did do is I had a biodata, right? 5 years experience in advertising and marketing and management qualification. I'm one. So I began to teach on weekends at business schools around Delhi. I was teaching marketing, right? Now that gave me, I think, 275 rupees an hour.
Wow.
And I would teach maybe 5-6 hours on the weekend, Saturday, Sunday. And that would give me 5,000 rupees a month in a good month. And that is one example of being...
Which at that time is a decent take home.
Exactly. Yeah. So which sort of enabled me to not take salary from the company.
And sorry, what was your last round salary when you were...
Post-tax or about 5,500.
Okay, so you ensured that you were still making that 5,500. And then let me go ahead and do what I have to do.
That's right.
Wow.
So now I did this because I thought of it because I was worried. I was worried because I was risk averse. I was Darpok.
I mean, or you were very, very ambitious. At the same time, you wanted to hedge your bets.
I wanted to be able to run the company without putting pressure on it for salary so that the business could be built.
Right.
And
it's hard work
and
to work on weekends also and to do what you have to do.
I could teach indefinitely. So I had runway then for 5 years, 10 years, whatever it took.
Wow. And that way you kept connected to the industry. I mean, if you're teaching, I mean, with your experience and
Yeah, but that's not why I did it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's be clear. I did it so that I could sustain.
to think of in that age and era to go one step forward, I mean, I did my 10th grade in 1994. So, koi bhi cheez ke liye, you fill a form, you want to go to a college, go and stand in queue, get a form. फिर form भरना है तो stand in queue, form भरो. In that age and era, then you started the internet business.
Well, I quit my job in 1990 and the internet was 97.
97. But
So
still,
सात
internet was not there, to be able to think of, today, these days kids, button dabao, the form is uploaded, button dabao, the form aa jata hai. In that era, to think of what you did and as Naukri, and then, I don't know, I wanted to ask you, was it a natural progression, whether Jeevansaathi and then 99 acres and Shiksha, how did this whole thing happen? Because it's just so baseline that was the need of a common man.
No, I'll tell you what happened. So Naukri came from a customer insight.
Right.
Where, in my last job, I used to observe that everybody would read Business India from the back. Because there were 35 to 40 pages of appointment ads in the back of Business India. They would not read the articles first. They would read the appointment ads first. So that told me that
classifieds and appointments are
are a big high interest category of information that people are interested in it.
Wow.
So वहाँ से idea आया कि if we get all the newspapers and magazines from around the country into our office and just take
regional language, all.
Therefore, regional language appointment ads training. Most appointment ads were in English.
Right.
So there were 29 newspapers and magazines which we would get in from around the country. And
even regional circulation in English, like the Hindu in Chennai, for example.
Yeah, that's right. Right. So there was this organization called Central News Agency.
Okay.
Which would get newspapers and magazines from all over India and all over the world and have them delivered to your office or residence in Delhi.
Wow.
Okay. So अगर आपको मलयालम ढूंढना चाहिए दिल्ली में, वो दोपहर तक आ जाइए. So because it'll get out of the flight in the morning, reach here by 11, 12 o'clock, and then get distributed by 2, 3 o'clock.
Got it.
See? So we had typically appointment ads would appear one day of the week in our newspaper. We knew which day of the week in which newspaper, and so we had a whole table. So इस दिन को ये चाहिए, इस दिन को ये चाहिए, इस दिन को ये चाहिए.
उस दिन उनकी जॉब की एड्स आती है.
हाँ. So we would get them into our office, and we would get 2 data entry guys would punch in the jobs into a database, and we'd upload it on the net. Okay? Now, because we had that insight that people want to look at jobs, traffic began to come. We had no one to advertise. We did not have to promote the site. अपने आप word of mouth बढ़िया.
Right.
Okay? If you want to see all the jobs in one place from all over India, it's here. If you missed the ad last week
in the newspaper, physical newspaper, this is still sitting on the website
because we used to give 30 days. Okay.
But website ka idea kahan se aaya, sir? I mean, how did you even think of website? I mean, because I know of that time, 97, the internet had just started happening.
So I had gone to, in October 96, I had gone to an IT exhibition in Delhi in Pragati Nagar called ITeS.
Wow.
It was run by CII. Okay. So there I saw a stall of a guy who was demonstrating the internet.
So you had interest, I want to ask you, did you have interest in the IT as a field, or you just,
no.
How did you land up to that exhibition?
I used to go there every year just to see what's going on.
So you're curious. You're curious, and which is the basic trait.
So ये IT exhibition हर साल होती थी.
Okay.
So I used to go there,
Because Tavi, where did people have computers? Who had access to internet? I mean,
internet तो बहुत कम था. Computer आ गए
थे. Yeah, but internet access was very, very less.
Internet at that time there were only 14,000 internet accounts at that time. So I saw it for the first time, and he gave me a demonstration, and I said, "Wow!" We should just, and the penny dropped in my head, and I said, "We should just aggregate all the jobs and put them, see what happens."
Superb. At that time, unlike today, where you have choices, at that time, of course, jobs were, even if it meant that you were working with the best multinational, you were still interested, कि भाई,
हो क्या रहा है?
What is going on?
Even if you don't want to switch.
You don't want to switch, but you want to be in the know. That's a hot topic of conversation all the time.
You're always benchmarking, right? How am I doing?
Yeah.
Right? So, हमने जैसे ही launch किया, traffic आने लग गया.
Okay.
ठीक है, we didn't have to advertise because we had that customer insight. तो एक बार नौकरी चल गई, the website. लगभग 1.5 साल बाद, by N98, we thought Okay, so
So there was no revenue.
So we gradually began to get revenue because we would take jobs free from newspapers. But enough companies began to reach out to us saying that
We want to post.
we want to post jobs which will not advertise in the papers. Because
And why would that be? Why would I not advertise? Because it was more expensive.
it was expensive, time consuming. So most jobs were not.
And it was not lasting.
Yeah. So most jobs were not advertised in the papers. Most jobs were through headhunters, recruitment firms,
Right.
old biographies on file, employee
But
reference.
didn't companies think that, like you said, the internet was only 14, 15,000. Of course, it was growing rapidly. Then what is my reach by going through this medium?
So you see, when we began to take ads from newspapers, people began to apply to those jobs. And in the cover letter, they would write, I saw your job on Naukri.com.
Oh, wow.
So the HR guys began to hear about us from the applicants, from the applications.
What a flywheel effect.
Okay. So if you got 10 responses or maybe 50, 25 responses from the newspaper and you got one from us,
So it would stand out.
with the recruitment community. So then people began to...
And as a comparison of classified in the newspaper versus hosting it on the website, what was cheaper? And if you can recollect, just as trivia.
Not classified, it was display.
Display
ads.
Acha, display. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Classified is very cheap.
Yeah.
But we were taking the display ads because the most mid-management senior man jobs were display.
Those.
Right. And so we were about 1/50th the price.
Wow. And longer in duration.
That's right. Of course.
And did you think of all of these things at that time?
No. I mean, pricing, obviously, we said we can't be expensive. We have to be cheap.
Yeah.
Because why should people pay us the same money as a print display ad?
Yeah.
Right? So हमने ऐसे किया. तो शुरू में पहले साल में 2.5 लाख रुपए सेल हुई. 2,35,000.
And that would be how many different recruiters, example?
That would be not a lot. I don't recall, but maybe 50 to 100. Maybe
So it's a recurring business that they're giving you.
Yeah. Okay. So अखबार से हम फ्री लेने हैं, कुछ पेड आ रहा है.
Got it.
लेकिन अगले साल this 2.5 lakh jumped to 18 lakhs. Okay, now I had never seen anything jump 7x in 1 year, even of a small base. That's when we realized maybe we've stumbled upon something big. And we stopped doing everything else. We just said we are now an internet company. We're going to run a job site. So एक बारी we defined ourselves as as an internet company. तो फिर दिमाग चलने लगा. Then we said, यार अखबार में जॉब एड्स होती हैं. तो अखबार में मैट्रिमोनियल एड्स भी होती हैं. तो हमने जीवनसाथी लॉन्च कर लिया.
Oh, wow. So these people give you the idea.
Yeah, we were following the money. So there's a revenue stream going there. Can we convert 10%? If we do,
Yes.
then
Yes. And you're just replicating the model.
yeah. Real estate, same thing. 99 acres. Shiksha, same thing. Education ads. So wherever we saw revenue going to print, we gave an internet option.
Super.
So the first one was a customer side. The next three were just replicating what's happening in print. And that's how we got it.
And then the same customer, perhaps, or the user in this case, can be, wanting all the 3-4 things.
Yeah, that's what we thought. Okay, but it didn't work out that way because
What was it?
see, when you're looking for a job, you're not looking for a wife or you're not looking for a house. I mean, maybe the same person, but at different points in time.
Yeah. And my recall of Naukri is different. My recall of Jeevansaathi is different. Yeah. I mean, at the back you are, but I think from a consumer standpoint,
They don't
these are
know
4 different
They
things.
don't know it's the same
Yeah,
company.
yeah. Actually, yes, you're absolutely right. Yeah. So it's like some firms do very, very well by just creating distinct identities as different businesses, and they would do exceedingly well, and you will create, a different consumer base each time.
So what we felt was one brand, one promise. The brand Naukri, job. Jeevansaathi, matrimony. Right? And, I had spent 5 years in advertising and marketing in ITeS and in HMM. Is now GlaxoSmithKline client. I'm working on Horlicks. And one of my clients in ITeS, where I worked on one of the clients, was Hindustan Lever. And they had multiple brands of soaps, of detergents, of household cleaners, multiple brands.
Right.
And one brand, one promise. Okay. Hitesh worked in Lever. Hitesh is the CEO of the company, and he worked in Lever.
Yeah.
And he had the Lever training. So one brand, one promise. So therefore, different brands for different things. So, okay. And that's what we felt. And the company was anonymous behind it.
And then, of course, internet or the way teledensity is just gone on in India, of course. But this switch to investing into companies, How was that? Was it a conscious thing? How that happened? What was that journey? I mean, and that also you started pretty early. Your earliest investments was early 2000, mid 2000,
2007.
2007. Yeah.
So, we were running Naukri and 99 Acres and Jeevansaathi and Shiksha, and we had listed, gone public in 2006.
Highly profitable, balance sheet, money.
Growing, money in the bank. When we were going public, right, you had a DRHP.
Right.
It's a complex document, 280
Yes.
pages, lots of clauses, fine print, this, that, whatever.
Yeah.
So, वहाँ पे एक section होता है objects of the issue.
हाँ, कि आप पैसे से क्या करोगे?
हाँ. Why are you going public? So, we were pretty hands-on on preparing a DRHP. So, we would get everybody into one conference room. There'd be 4 or 5 people from our team, including me. There would be 2 bankers के teams, investment bankers, उनके lawyer, हमारे lawyer. तो 15-20 लोग इकट्ठे होते हैं एक conference room में, and we'd project it on the screen, the DRHP, and we'd go through every clause. So 280 page. We went through every clause over maybe 2-3 week period, 7-8 hours a day.
Wow.
So we knew the DRHP pretty well, all of us. Okay, so it was a pretty rigorous and thorough process we went through. So वहाँ पे एक section होता है object of the issue. Why are you going public? On that section, I said, yeah, this I know why we're going public. I got it in my head. मैं रात को घर से लिख के आ जाऊँगा and show it to you tomorrow. Then okay. I came back with 7 or 8 points. So why we're going public? To make sure that investor has an exit, to make sure ESOP has value, to make sure stock has currency, to be in a different strategic space as compared to a competition, to whatever other reason. So the banker said, boss, this won't fly. SEBI will not clear this. Because this is why you're going public. This is not what you'll do with the money.
Oh, okay.
So यहाँ पे pretty much there are 4 or 5.
They want to know, regulator wants to know that public funds are utilized in what manner.
Exactly.
Not why as a company you are doing this.
Not why you want to go public.
Yes.
This is why you want a listing.
Right.
That's what you do with the money.
Yes.
यहाँ पे pretty standard 4-5 uses होते हैं पैसों के, which we'll come back with. It's pretty much a cookie cutter thing. So they came back, organic growth, inorganic growth, general corporate purposes, 4-5 reasons.
Right, got it.
वहाँ पे they put it. And then DRHP got cleared, we went public, balle. But the truth is, we didn't need the money because we were profitable and making more and more money every month.
Right.
So every quarter,
So you didn't need to use...
we didn't need to use the money. I mean, you could have gone on not using money forever.
Yeah, but they'll have a problem with it.
So after every quarter, the auditors, Pricewaterhouse would come and say, use of IPO proceeds nil. They would tell the board. And the board, after 2-3 quarters, began to say, you guys, you'll get in trouble with SEBI. You have to use the money.
Right.
For the purposes that you
have said so.
Yeah. So then we began to debate kya kare. So we said, organic growth ke liye chahiye nahi. Because our businesses are profitable.
Yeah. And you are a leader.
And then we said
कि acquisition के लिए कुछ होगा नहीं.
So no, we said general corporate purposes, land building नहीं खरीदा मैं. हमें नहीं खरीदना land building because we don't want to utilize our money to buy that kind of asset. And then we said inorganic growth, तो उस समय कुछ available था नहीं. There was no company worth buying.
I mean, who was...
2007, right? So then we stumbled upon this thing, why don't we invest in startups? That's a form of inorganic growth. And because there are enough people who are trying, good entrepreneurs are trying, there isn't enough venture capital, we can invest. And which is how we began to invest.
But before that, so I'm sure there were people approaching you already. Some of the firms that you may have invested in or...
So we had a couple of approaches earlier, but typically, people did not think of us as a prospective investor because we are an operating company.
Yeah.
So until we decided to invest.
Like a mentor, they may come and seek advice, but not think of you as an investor.
That's right. But there wasn't this kind of...
the wave wasn't there. I mean, forget the wave. People had not even thought of it. Yeah, And which firms were really there at that time?
Venture capital firms.
No, I'm saying the startup firms, they may be operational, they may exist, not exist, but which were...
So I'll tell you, we began to invest in 2007. And by 2012, we'd done about 11 companies.
Okay.
उसमें Zomato था, Policybazaar था.
Oh.
There were a few others. तो हमने 11 कंपनियां की थी.
I think Flipkart is 6 or 7 also started.
No, I think a little later than that. Flipkart was, I think, literally, I think
9. So. Okay.
We had done, so those were early days. So that's how we began to invest.
And you would say that 12, which means you may have evaluated...
About 50, 60, 100.
Okay. But still, I mean, 12 you thought were investment worthy?
11, I think. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, but look, we are going in early. You're not clear. You are.
Of course, is the
Many failed.
Many failed, I'm sure. And from there, I wanted to ask you. I mean, there are many questions related to this, but let me ask you. There is the Zomato, of course, Policy Bazaar, which are the whole market knows and everyone knows. But I'm sure there are, out of the so many that you evaluated and invested, there would have been some that got you really excited but didn't make it as big as. If you can give us the story of why and what.
See, I'll tell you.
I mean, if you can name or not name, up to you. But
see, every founder we invest behind, every company we invest behind because we believe they're good, we have confidence in them, and we think they can make it. And almost all of them have been very good entrepreneurs, but some did not succeed for various reasons. It could be luck, it could be the fact that funded competition came, it could be the fact that they were unable to raise next rounds, right? It could be that they misjudged the market.
Any idea that really excited you?
Yeah, I thought there was a company called Merit Nation.
Merit Nation. Okay,
it was EdTech and
very catchy name, Merit Nation.
And K-12, class 1 to class 12, school studies. Really good founder, really good product, but it could not make enough sales happen. So it was a free product, and on which some people would upgrade to paid, not enough to upgrade to paid.
Got it.
So that became a bit of a challenge, but really good.
Correct. I think sometimes all the good intentions may not translate to how the public or the private markets may view it, and okay. And the one that you thought, I'm not saying in terms of scale and size, but was just a phenomenal idea which eventually became successful.
Zomato.
These
two became big.
Yeah, and of course everyone knows from how and where they started to what they are today. And on that note, I want to ask that if someone is looking to invest today, and let's say someone has a capital of 500,000 Indian rupees, there's one way that I can start a business, the other way is I can invest, right? But some of these firms are quite rich in valuation, there is that whole cycle that let's say the 80s to 90s were high interest rate cycle, so the internet didn't do well. 90s to 2000 globally, I'm saying the interest rate cycles were low, leading to .com in 2000. Then the money again goes back to the old world economy, and you had GFC. Then again, interest rate cycle goes down when most of the whole startup environment went up, where interest rates were almost zero and when everyone wanted to just invest. कहाँ लगाऊं, मतलब क्या कर रहे हो, profit कितना है, वो कुछ नहीं. To now, where again you have a higher interest rate cycle going on, and there's focus on profitability, etc. So how would you describe some of these firms which are actually very powerful and they are solving problem and they have a real moat, but they're multiple wise they're expensive. So what is your view?
We don't decide the valuation. Okay. Market decides it.
Right.
Very often these things are competitive. These things are, if investors have got too much money, there's too much liquidity, there would be asset price inflation.
Yes.
And it won't just be in startups. It'll also be in real estate.
Right.
It'll also be in public markets. It'll also be perhaps in commodities.
But generally, sir, we've seen कि ये जो cycle है, that on hard assets and to the, let's say, internet-related businesses or tech-related businesses they don't go, they're inverse to each other.
That used to be the case, but I do not know if that's how it's panned out now, in the last 5 years or 10 years.
Yes, now.
Because there is so much money. Because post-COVID, so much money got printed by the Fed.
Yes.
And this money went everywhere, all over the world.
Right.
Into every asset class.
Right.
And therefore, everything went up in value. The Fed may have contracted balance sheets since 2001. Maybe interest rates gone up a bit. But there is still substantial liquidity.
Yes. In some other form, different forms.
Yeah. And this finds its way into startups also. Right? Apart from other, look at the stock market.
So if I were to open the newspaper between 2015 to 2022, every day I would hear this one investing so much in this startup in India, or in the world, PE or VC or whatever, To now, when I open the newspaper, it is the IPO.
Yes.
So like you're saying, the money, the way it is getting invested has changed.
No, but you see, those are these old startups which are now becoming mature, some of them.
And people are getting exits.
And people are listing in the stock market because those companies are now 8, 10, 12 years old. They've reached a certain size and scale. Some of them are profitable. Some of them are going to get to profit next 2-3 years. And therefore, it's a natural step in their evolution that some of them will go public.
I wanted to ask you that, people say that what is the differentiator for India? I mean, if we look at the startup ecosystem, we have a great startup ecosystem. But as a country, of course, we've done very well in the ITES sector, but it's actually processing work. And that quality keeps improving. We're going up the value chain. But we've not been an innovator as a country. We are not very big on natural resources. Some of them have oil, someone has, minerals, etc., etc. Or China and in the past, Japan, South Korea have been great on manufacturing. So what is that about India that you think that is a standout, which would mean that it would mean growth? It would be something that the world notices and we can export outside.
We are naturally have a strength in services, which is why services are 60% of our GDP.
Right.
And that has increased over the last 30-40 years.
Right.
Substantially. So services is the natural sweet spot. We want to be competitive and good in manufacturing, and the government is making efforts, creating policy frameworks, looking at ease of doing business, and so on. But to become a global giant in manufacturing, these 40 saal lagenge. It won't happen in 5 years.
Yes.
But you start the steps now.
Right.
I think what India's strength is that we can be the back office to the world. We can be the talent hub of the world in many areas. I mean, I think 30-40% of chip designers are of Indian origin.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we can be a very, very big source of talent globally. I mean, healthcare staff, nursing, teaching, right? We can provide cadres and armies of talent to the rest of the world, whether they're working remotely from here or we are exporting them to work over there.
Right.
So I think talent, services, we have a natural, affinity, area of strength. So we should focus on that as well as try to become good in manufacturing. But manufacturing becoming good and globally it will take time.
The whole skilling, upskilling, we have to go up. Abhi hum ek part bana rahe hain.
I think technology for manufacturing, specific manufacturing. I think all that will take a little bit of time.
Mass employment for the per capita income to grow, and have that mass effect, I think is the journey to have. And on that basis, because services, and you're right, in the last 40 years, if you look at the IT exports, we were, and because it impacts the industry that I come from, commercial real estate, because, tech companies that are doing work out of India take up volumes of space. When you actually do more manufacturing, you add capacity in the factory. When you do well in IT, you add capacity in office. So the office boom has been phenomenal. But AI, is a big threat because, there's that whole piece where would it be a disruptor which will create some different kind of demand, or would it be a disruptor which can derail what we have seen as a boom in the last 30-40 years?
There's a new technology and a shift in technology. There are threats and there are opportunities.
Right.
The threat is to the established incumbent and to the established way of doing things.
Yes.
The opportunity is that new jobs, new type of skills, new type of talent are in demand, and therefore new industries and new ways of working come up. Right? So I remember I was in my first job back in 84, 85 of Rajiv Gandhi Sarkar thi. So Rajiv Gandhi said, the government said, we will introduce computers in the nationalized banks.
Computers in nationalized bank.
Back then, all banking was mostly nationalized.
Yeah. Okay. Sub-ledger or...
Okay. So the All India Bank Employees Association, very powerful trade union. They were up in arms. They said, we do the jobs. But nothing was solved.
No, it became more efficient.
Nobody lost jobs. It just improved productivity.
Right.
And the customer service better.
Got it.
So I'm not saying that's what will happen this time. I'm just saying that new technology also leads to new opportunities.
Yes.
And new ways of doing work. Now, will some jobs be replaced by AI? Most certainly, yes. But will new types of jobs get? Yes, there will be. The challenge will be that the people who lose the old jobs may not be the same as the people who get those new jobs.
Got it.
So these guys who are losing jobs will see some pain.
And how soon do you see this coming?
It's happening.
It's already
It's
in motion.
So I'll tell you. Let's take voice bots. So आपने देखा होगा in the last 6, 8, 12 months, there's been a massive increase of spam calls that you're getting.
Yeah.
Telemarketing calls.
Yeah.
Now these are all voice bots. Very often you don't know you're talking to a human being.
Oh.
But it's a voice bot. This is AI. Now this can replace a human being in a call center.
Yeah, the next time I'll not be unhappy because I'm not talking to the other guy, express my grief.
Maybe you are.
Maybe you are, but I'm saying, yeah, but you are absolutely right. The volume of calls has just dramatically increased.
Yeah, these are voice bots. Now, what have we done in our company? So we've got a call center of people who call up our clients. So we've 150,000 clients, companies who use us for hiring. The top 10% are salespeople go and meet field salespeople. Those are key accounts. So that's about 15,000 clients. The next 20%, 30%, our telecalling team calls up and tries to sell them over the phone, service them over the phone, convert them.
Right.
Upsell, they do it on the phone.
Yeah.
The bottom, we ignore.
Yeah.
Now what have we done? We have made the voice bot call up the bottom.
Oh, okay. Wow.
We have not let go of anybody.
So you expanded your market in some ways.
So what has happened is that AI is helping us do stuff that we not yet done earlier.
Yeah.
Now at some point in time, will it impact on those? It might. Although we're trying to avoid it.
But so, in any organization, there'll be some capacity which is redundant. I'm just generally saying resources or people or whatever, but which is just sitting there that may get, and then it'll energize the rest to make it more efficient, to do more.
But what my advice to individuals, to people who believe they can be replaced by AI is, look, AI is happening. Either you do it or it'll be done to you.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow. If you do it or it'll be done.
It'll be done to you. So therefore, it's very, very good idea for you to master 1 or 2 or 3 AI platforms and learn to use them to do your job better.
Right. And it's not, when you say master, it's to spar with them. I mean, learn it, practice and,
Right. It's like when Microsoft Word first came in.
Yeah.
It was rocket science.
No,
People didn't know how to use a computer.
Yeah.
Then now it's part of the course.
Yes.
So you can master those things. Now, if you become more productive because of that, chances are you won't lose it job. Or if you do, you'll get another job.
Got it.
Right? I'll give you one more example. So I finished business school in 89.
Oh.
So I joined in 87. PCs came into the IIMs in 86.
Wow.
So we were one of the first batches to have used a PC while at business school. When I went into my first job after business school, it was a marketing department, 15, 20 people there. One computer for the whole team. The truth is, nobody else had done it in college or business school, so nobody else knew how to use it.
Got it.
For me, I was native, so I had to use it. So I could do a whole bunch of things that others could not do using the computer, which were useful.
So you were like the guy.
Yeah, I was a good guy.
Yeah.
If there was anybody who would do the job, I was going to be the last guy.
Yeah, and you were the coolest to say that this person knows this. He's a go-to person.
Yeah. So therefore, if you learn to use AI, right, chances are you'll be the coolest guy in your department.
No, I agree. And that piece, I mean, we speak to various clients of ours, and this time the use of technology before it's getting to corporates, it's been individually driven. So the people have been using AI apne aap khud se on their own, and then it is going to be, in the past it's been the reverse. The company has got it, like, whether it's a computer or whatever, and then people have started to use it. So it's a different kind, and you either, like you said, you do it or it's going to do. It's going to be done. Yeah.
It's going to be done to you. Yeah.
Done to you, right? Just this whole piece on investing in these companies, and then you also started a fund. Was that a conscious again, or how did it sort of happen? What was the...
We began to invest.
Because you were earlier investing on balance sheet, and which is long-term.
Basically, what happened was that as Zomato and Policybazaar succeeded, our CFO came and said, 2017-18, that guys, we have a problem. That if we get a blockbuster exit in Zomato and Policybazaar, in the same year, in 1 year, we might be classified as an NBFC because our financial income will exceed our
operating business.
operating income.
Oh.
And then, we come under RBI regulation. And then to open a new Naukri sales office, you need RBI permission.
Oh.
So it's not a good idea to be an NBFC. When you're not an NBFC, you are an operating company. You are also doing investments.
Right.
So investment is not your main business.
Right.
So then it was decided by the board that we will do a fund, and all new investments will go from the fund. So we have to separate the investing business from the operating business.
Which will continue to operate into the private market.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that's why we started a fund.
One other thing I wanted to ask, your experience of public markets. Of course, you've taken your company public, etc. But how have you personally been investing in public markets, or what is it?
So I don't invest personally. I don't invest in public markets. In fact, I don't spend time on personal investments. I basically give it to mutual fund, AIF, portfolio managers. I have wealth advisors. They handle it. I have invested in a few venture capital funds as an individual, but not a lot. So I'm not an active sort of personal investor.
Are the principles the same?
Roughly, yes. Invest behind quality, invest behind growth, invest behind good teams and good founders, invest behind good brands, invest behind innovation and technology.
Anyone that you followed in the public markets who you thought...
Well, look, almost all public market investing ultimately traces its roots back to Warren Buffett and before him, Benjamin Graham. So no matter who you are in the public market investing world, somewhere there will be some influence.
Yeah, absolutely. Buy cheap.
Yeah.
Get in early.
Stay hold for a long time. All of that.
Yeah.
So to that extent, yes.
And your investments in all of your successful, or generally your investments have been long term. Like, would there be something that you will not exit?
My personal investments.
I mean, generally in the company.
We have held on to Policy Bazaar from 2008.
Oh, wow.
So 17 saal ho gaye, we're still there. Zomato since 2010. Okay, so 15 saal ho gaye, we're still there.
From where you started that holding, or you may have increased?
No, we went into several rounds, but I'm just saying the first check was written in 2010.
Wow. So, and that is the philosophy?
Well, I wouldn't say that was the philosophy to start with. That has become the philosophy.
And so one learning over the course of time, I mean, I'm saying this is two questions into one. What to do and what not to do. It is equally important.
So I think you've got to invest behind businesses that create IP, that innovate, that have a network effect, where the teams are really good, where there's enough customer love, where you're solving an unsolved problem. So these things haven't changed. And where there's integrity and good governance, that's very important.
And what not to do?
Do not invest behind founders where there's even a whiff of a doubt on integrity.
Got it. At what age is a ripe age to be an entrepreneur? Like I'm 46, and I'm to admit to say many times I've thought that I should do something, but I've not had the guts, the gumption to go. Because you have a good, not that you're not working hard, you're working hard, you're traveling, you're doing what you have to do. But
you can be an entrepreneur at any age, but you got to understand, to build a big company in India, 10 se 15 saal lagte hain usually.
And that energy.
So therefore, in your mid-40s, are you looking at 10, 15 year time horizon? And what are your personal financial needs going to be in the next 5 years? Okay, if you got kids need to go to college, if you've got to build a house, you want a medical emergency, parents may need looking after. Very often you can't get money out of the company that you started for the first 5-10 years.
Yes.
Because they can't afford to pay you.
Yes. And your needs are growing and growing and growing.
So do your financial and risk planning before becoming an entrepreneur. But technically you can do it at any age.
Right. And any idea that is exciting you now as a theme? I mean, generally right now, you've been,
so I think
consumer space has been...
We think AI is going everywhere. AI is really doing well.
And there's a lot happening in India?
There's a lot happening in India, yeah.
Like, which is...
Not foundational models so much, but the application there.
Got it. I'm going to wind down to my core area of understanding and expertise. What is your view on real estate?
So we run 99 acres, which is so we have a more than passing interest in real estate as a company. most brokers and most builders are our clients. Right? We have offices all over India.
Right.
So we know a little bit. What we are seeing is that the resale market is becoming bigger and bigger and bigger because all the inventory that was sold for the last 10, 20 years is now a fair chunk of it is in the resale market.
Right.
Prior to this, resale market was kind of thinly traded. So the resale market is now fairly large. That's one trend we're seeing because as the inventory grows, resale markets will become large.
Got it.
I think what we are also seeing is a good tendency. So, especially, in some markets, there was this whole thing of half black, half white, cash check, that is increasingly trending towards check.
Yes.
As more and more working professionals take loans and buy property.
Correct.
And all of that is going to be full check.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's a good trend. Capital appreciation.
Yeah.
Investing in property capital is somewhat speculative.
Yes.
It's somewhat lumpy, stop and start.
Yeah.
कभी होता कभी नहीं होता. कभी price flat रहा कई सालों के लिए फिर suddenly jump हुआ.
Yes.
Okay, because real estate prices don't go up by 12% every year.
Yeah.
It's not like that. It's not continuous compounder.
Not at all. In fact, before COVID, for 10 years, it was flat. Yeah.
Right. What we are seeing is that there are investors emerging who are looking at earning decent rental yields, which doesn't happen in residential as much as it happens in commercial, where you can earn 7, 8, 10% per annum on a rental yield.
Yeah.
And whatever appreciation happens in the asset is a bonus.
Absolutely. And if you can leverage, then it is phenomenal.
Yes.
Because it pays itself with 7, 8 years.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you have that kind of investor class and those kind of opportunities emerging.
And are you dabbling in the commercial space also, or that market is not because it's not?
So
from a consumer standpoint,
for me personally, I do not.
In the 99 acres.
Yeah, that acres does have a commercial section, but a big chunk of it is residential because we are a consumer-facing website.
Right. I have to do this, because it's my trade. But you should buy a commercial property when you compare it to any asset class. So, for example. To the dollar to the rupee was 40 30 years back. Today is closer to 90. The weighted average rent of the country is equal to the dollar. So multinationals are paying the same rent for the last 30, 40 years. And if you see the kind of buildings and developers that are within the commercial real estate space are very, very niche because it's a very capital intensive business. Not every developer can make an office space. And hold it because your first rent.
So what kind of rental yields can you expect on a?
It could be so if you invested in REIT around 7%, and if you were buying an income yielding asset about 8.5%, you would make, and you should leverage.
That's pre-tax.
Pre-tax, but you have to leverage. If you don't do debt, then it may not stack up because let's say you invested 100 and you got 50 your equity and 50 debt. So 50 7-8 साल के बाद 100 बन जाएगा. And that 50 is paid back by the 8% that you're making for 7-8 years.
Okay.
That is one. And most corporates would stay for 5-7 years. Plus there's an escalation in rent, which will also happen. And by itself, the value is quite cheap. Because if you compare with Resi, anywhere in India, it's a general myth that office is expensive, but it is at a 30-40% discount.
Okay.
Any building. If one office building and one commercial building side by side on the same piece and parcel of land built by the same developer, office would be 30-40% cheaper
than residential.
So it's and that's why all large funds, whether it's GIC, Blackstone, Brookfield, of course regulation wise also have bought commercial real estate.
Okay.
And it's just that it's capital intensive and the ticket is bigger. So
I'll keep it in mind.
I have to. I want to thank you very much, sir. Sanjeev,
thank you so much.
It has been a pleasure, and I'm sure people will enjoy and learn from what you have said. And I have taken a few things that I will carry on. So thank you very much.
Thanks so much. Thank you.